I do not know if whether this will be a high effort video or a low effort rant video that I will be going off of, but this has been a phenomenon that has been problematically bothering me for the past few months and to a year. It is meme language dominating someone's lexicon. Now obviously with me saying the word lexicon and 98% of you niggas not knowing what that word even means, I am going to be pretentious in this video because it is very justified in where I'm coming from. I tried voicing this opinion out to a bunch of other people, but this little guy with a little yamacha on his head was saying to me, actually, that's how languages evolve and change. Now, the biggest mistake that he made was using the word evolve. What does evolve even mean? I'm not going to go to the etymological things about it, but everybody does have an idea what evolution means in some sense, if it is even real. Evolution in the sense of language would, in my mind at least, or evolution in general, in my mind, or everyone's mind at least, is something that adapts and changes over time in progression into a better state. And would you think that the English language right now, or the contemporary sense, is going towards a better direction? Fuck no, it isn't. What does the word riz, gyat, or any of these fucking retarded words even mean? And before people who are smartasses like the little yamacha guy was saying, actually those words originated in different regions from southern United States, because obviously it does have to come from the fucking Bible Belt. Look at every single statistical map of the US and you always see the Bible Belt being the majority dominance of whatever negative phenomena it is showing or graphically representing. It is unsurprising it came from there. The biggest problem I have just realized right now is the one that nobody is actually realizing. It's the fact that if we degenerate our language, at least with English being the main dominant language of the world in business, in international, in even America's enemy states, China and Russia, their road signs would be alongside with their native language with English words in it. And please, please, do not mistake this video and me stating that a symptom of a bigger problem is the bigger problem, because I'm not saying that. I will say on what the bigger problem is. I will be simply putting it as people are becoming stupider as the days go on. Has anybody noticed this? Anybody with the level of discernment, either similar or as high as mine, have noticed that people are becoming stupider as the days go on. Not even through what they say necessarily, but how they say it. And I know it's not a good thing to use personal anecdotes of mine, but given the fact that English is English, they just can't simply pass on that opportunity. So, where this starts is a English class. Take an important note on that, because it's very important to the story. We were doing Shakespeare, this one play called Othello, and we were doing presentations. Now, you would think what I'm about to say is, oh, it's because these people were very nervous in front of everyone. No, we're too far into our ages to be that nervous in front of everyone. It's more of a matter of people being dumb and just not wanting to do this type of stuff. But for my reasons, for my narrative, the other reluctancy of reasoning is they literally, and I'm being 100% serious, they literally could not articulate smoothly or even loudly to what part they were saying. It was a character by character basis. We were doing like Othello, Desdemona, Rodrigo, Cassio. I am probably the only person from that class, besides maybe the English teacher, that remembers those characters and their names and at least the premise of the story of the tragedy of Othello from Shakespeare. But one of the craziest and most bizarre things were happening right in front of my eyes and everybody else's. These people could not articulate themselves well in English, in an English class. Now you might be thinking, since I'm coming from California, that some of these people might have Spanish as their primary language. That might be the case, but for the most part, most of these people, just by the way they look like they don't even know Spanish. They only know English, but they don't even know English in the realest of its sense of the language. They only know English through retarded means. And I only mean retarded in the non-humorous sense that I usually put it. I mean it in the literal medical sense. It's arrested, it's delayed. It's from sources that aren't even using standard English. It's using the substandard English. And that's why for black people, and I'm using them because they have the greatest and best examples of people having a crab bucket mentality, at least with their own races. But that's another issue for a different time. But in this case with the language, whenever they start to actually speak proper English, standard English, that doesn't involve a lot of slang in between each word in every single sentence that they speak, they would get insulted by their own kind in the most common way possible that you can think right now is, you're trying to speak like a white person. There's no elevation because they're more educated and more articulated. They are bringing them down because they're not like us. They're actually elevating themselves instead of being, well, you can fill in the blanks right there. When the society dejects, insults, and ostracizes the people who exercises their intelligence in very overt ways, it becomes stupider, more simply put. That is why the word nerd is a thing. And usually when it's used in a way where you would ask the person who's being called a nerd, why do you waste so much time and your brain energy on something so useless? Why do you know of something so small and so unknown and niche and esoteric? Not esoteric in the cool and great way where you have hidden knowledge that most people don't even know that gives you an edge to anything that you can think of. No, it's more rather of this line of thinking that everybody goes through. First, why waste so much of your time getting to a lot of knowledge that nobody gives a fuck about? To 3, why are you even voicing it in the way that you do? And usually in a very uncharismatic, forced, and ironically in a more stupid way. The last part is actually the most important because that's the part where everybody gets their hate from, on the nerd. And that's why the revenge of the nerds is happening right now, and it's having very, very dire consequences because not only did they not be able to have that much charisma in order to actually articulate the points in either a funny or either in a non-forced, natural, smooth, finessed way, they're now ruining this fucking civilization with the autistically calculated ways on how to make you addicted to YouTube for 5 hours straight, giving you all these stupid documentaries, stupid videos, or just brain rot in general.